Have you ever wondered how the small, mountainous country of Nepal, tucked between China and India, came to be? Well, it's a story that begins in the mists of time, and like all great stories, it's filled with kings and queens, epic battles, and cultural revolutions. Nepal's history starts with the Gopalas and Mahishapalas, believed to be the earliest rulers, with their capital at Matatirtha, nestled in the southwest corner of the Kathmandu Valley. By the 7th or 8th century BC, the Karantis took over, their notable king Yalumbar even making an appearance in the legendary epic Mahabharat. Fast forward to around 300 AD, the Licchavis arrived from northern India, overthrowing the Karantis. Their legacy includes the Changunarayan temple near Bhaktapur, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, hailing from the 5th century. Then, in the early 7th century, Amshuvarma, the first Thakuri king, ascended the throne. He cleverly married off his daughter Brikuti to the famous Tibetan king Song Tsen Gampo, securing good relations with Tibet. While the Licchavis brought art and architecture to the valley, the golden age of creativity arrived in 1200 AD with the Mallas. During their 550-year rule, the Mallas built numerous temples and splendid palaces with picturesque squares. Society and the cities became well organized. Religious festivals were introduced, and literature, music, and art were encouraged. The death of Yakshamala led to the division of the valley into 3 kingdoms: Kathmandu, Bhaktapur, and Patan. During this time, Nepal, as we know it today, was divided into about 46 independent principalities. One of these was the Kingdom of Gorkha, with a Shah ruler. In the mid-18th century, an ambitious Gorkha king, Prithvi Narayan Shah, embarked on a conquering mission that led to the defeat of all the kingdoms in the valley by 1769. Rather than annexing these states to his Kingdom of Gorkha, he moved his capital to Kathmandu, establishing the Shah dynasty, which ruled unified Nepal from 1769 to 2008. The Gorkha state's history goes back to 1559, when Dravya Shah established a kingdom in an area primarily inhabited by Magars. During the 17th and early 18th centuries, Gorkha continued a slow expansion, conquering various states while forging alliances with others. Prithvi Narayan dedicated himself at an early age to the conquest of the Kathmandu Valley. In the mid-19th century, Jung Bahadur Rana became Nepal's first prime minister to wield absolute power, reducing the Shah king to mere figureheads. He started a hereditary reign of the Rana prime ministers that lasted for 104 years. The Ranas were overthrown in a democracy movement of the early 1950s, with support from the then monarch of Nepal, King Tribhuvan. Soon after the overthrow of the Ranas, King Tribhuvan was reinstated as the head of the state. In early 1959, Tribhuvan's son, King Mahendra, issued a new constitution, and the first democratic elections for a national assembly were held. The Nepali Congress Party emerged victorious, and their leader, Bishweshwar Prasad Koirala, formed a government and served as prime minister. But by 1960, King Mahendra had changed his mind and dissolved parliament, dismissing the first democratic government. In conclusion, the history of Nepal is a tapestry woven with the threads of conquests, alliances, and cultural evolutions. From the early reign of the Gopalas and Mahishapalas, through the golden age of the Mallas to the rule of the Shah dynasty and beyond, Nepal's history is a rich and vibrant saga that continues to unfold.